wrong with the Texas Longhorns. After watching them today, I don't really know what we should expect going forward. This is a team that we thought could be a national championship contender, and while that technically is still on the table, a performance like this has me questioning if they have what it takes going forward, honestly. When you look at a team like Houston, a team that needed a Hail Mary to beat West Virginia and has not looked good, they lost to a team like Rice. Playing close against a team like Houston does not say a lot about a team trying to win at the highest level. After a loss to Oklahoma, you obviously wanted to bounce back in a big way, and they started doing that, but for whatever reason, they essentially fell off the face of the earth in terms of what they were doing. And I don't know what was going on, but from my observations, it's something where they almost to get to overthinking and trying to do too much. So when you look at this game, Texas got off to a 21-0 lead in a hurry, and they were doing a lot of simple things. They weren't doing anything crazy. They were doing what Texas normally does, and Houston did not have an answer for it. And obviously, the Cougars were going to bounce back. They were going to adjust, but Texas didn't do themselves any favors either. When Houston scored their first touchdown, Texas started getting cute. They started doing various different trick plays. They even ran a fake field goal, the throwback to the kicker, and I just think that you're essentially giving a team, the underdog, more opportunities to make plays, and you didn't really need to do that. When you look at what Texas did for the majority of the first half, and then even towards the end of the game, they moved the ball with ease. There was nothing that Houston could do to stop them. And it's almost like Steve Sarkisian, we talk about him being one of the better play callers in college football. It's almost like he tried to do too much. Instead of just keeping things simple, he tried to see what would work and try to go above and beyond what he normally does. And you didn't necessarily need to do that when you were running the ball as well as you were early on, when you were throwing to essentially wide open receivers, when you were just playing with a ton of confidence. And I think that you ruined some of that. And obviously, you can debate about if momentum is a real thing, but when you look at what this team was doing, they clearly had that momentum in the first half and it went away really quickly. And like I said, Quinn Ewers was playing with a lot of confidence. He was making some really nice throws, and then suddenly it was like the offense didn't know what to do. It was like Houston had all of the momentum in the world, and they kept it close, closer than this game really should have been. Texas should not be in a game with a team like Houston, honestly. But when you're looking at, I think when you're looking at Houston, they had nothing to lose. They've wanted Texas for the longest time. And when you would look at this team, this fan base has been starving for some success since Tom Herman left, and Dana Holgerson has given them a tiny bit of that, but overall, he's given them more frustration than anything. So this was a huge game for them. They wanted some success. So in a way, you have to tip your hat to Houston and what they were able to do. But if you're Texas and with the amount of, I mean, you look at the recruiting numbers, Texas destroys Houston in recruiting. There's no way this game should even be close from a talent perspective. But when you try to do too much and when you go away from what you're doing and don't try to just dominate with a simple approach, then you get results like this. And Houston had no interest in running the football. So it wasn't like this was a balanced attack that was killing them. It was this is an offense that found something that worked, and guys like Matthew Golden kind of shredded this Texas defense. They didn't have an answer for them. And it's something that if you look at in terms of shredding, Texas was just absolutely doing whatever they wanted early on. And for whatever reason, they decided that wasn't enough. They had to try various different things. They had to switch things up. And with a team like Houston, you don't necessarily need to do that. I just don't think that you need to get cute. You don't need to start doing trick plays. Just take the points because instead of going up 24-7, it's 21-14. And now you have yourself a ball game. Guys are clenching up. They're playing a little bit more rigid, a little bit tighter, and it's not helping you. You're not getting the pull away. You're not making this an easy win, and you're not doing yourself any favors by doing that. And obviously, you needed a late touchdown to go up, and Houston would not go away. So really, what's going on with Texas? Because at this point, you're recruiting at a high level, you're bringing in the talent. It just comes down to, do you have the right guy in place? And I'm not saying that Steve Sarkisian should be fired by any means, but this is just a weird game. And when you look at this team, They beat Alabama, and I mean, look at the Oklahoma game. The Oklahoma game, we saw some various different things too. And yes, you could say, well, they did it in that game against a better team and it worked. Well, yes, that is correct. But when you start doing that and you rely on that to, I don't even know, that was almost necessary, in my opinion, to do certain things, run certain plays that are different than what you normally do. If you're losing momentum and you need to flip it, then you do that. But if you have all the momentum in the world, why are you switching things up? Why are you doing things differently? I don't care if you run the same inside zone play to Jonathan Brooks 40 times in a row because Houston couldn't stop that. I don't care if you run a go route to Xavier Worthy every single play. That was working. I just don't see what Texas had to prove by switching things up against a team that they were favored coming into this game by 20 plus points. You don't need to do that. You don't need to get cute. You don't need to try and make things different when it's almost like why are you switching it up if this is working? Are you not okay with success? Are you not okay with what's going on? And if so, why is that? Why are you not okay with how things are going? Because when you're dominating like that, you need to put teams away, not switch up what you're doing, not give your that team a chance to get back into the game. So Texas wants to get back to the Big 12 championship, and if they want to get into the college football playoff, they need to just keep doing what they're doing. Yes, at times you will need to switch things up and maybe switch the momentum back in your favor. But when you have the momentum, you don't need to change anything. Keep it simple. Trust the talent that you brought in because otherwise, what's the point of bringing in this talent if you're not going to trust it? If they're dominating, let them dominate. Let the other team have to make you switch. Don't switch on your own. Don't switch what you're trying to do. And just do what you're doing best. And if they can do that going forward, if they're really good about what Texas can do, but if they're going to keep switching things up, this could be an interesting year.